pour me a cup of that Joe. Welcome to the Teacher's Lounge, baby. Let's start the show.
Where is the pull-out couch?
What'd y'all do with it?
Well, you don't want a soiled pull-out couch in here, so I just took it out.
You shit the bed?
Well,
figuratively?
I shit the bed figuratively, and I pissed the bed literally.
Todd, come on, Todd.
I'm sorry.
So you did something bad, you came here and then peed the bed?
Hey, that was some pizza party, though, wasn't it?
Yes.
Y'all had a pizza party?
Yeah, absolutely. We got 3 pies delivered and 2 2-liters.
Quick question.
Baby.
Do y'all two just hang out with each other? Or because it feels like every time we do this, something just happened with both of y'all two.
Well, Todd's my ride, and I'm sort of his emotional support animal.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hold on. Emotional support animal?
Well, so if I fly, I have Mr. Weatherman set up as my emotional support animal.
Like in
I've got
one of
the
those little
paperwork.
mesh
Yeah, I have a
carry-ons?
vest. I have a
Does he
vest.
have a little vest that says what's it say?
So
Emergency pet?
So you fly for free, pretty much?
Well, only with my
If I need emergency
Do you have to
support.
dress like an animal at all? Because
No,
I
I
feel
have
like
the
they would
vest.
look in a huge crate and be like, "That's a man in there trying to sneak on the plane."
It's more about emotional support than it is about animal.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No.
If you're emotionally supportive.
Still no. I'm talking about the airline company.
Yeah.
Well, when we fly right now, we fly with kind of a low-budget airline.
Spirit. Are we going to talk about Spirit?
Oh, I wish I could afford Spirit.
God.
No, we're flying on this airline.
We're flying on.
They also run drugs for a Colombian cartel.
Oh, so it's more of a kind of like a Cessna run by gangsters?
Well, it's like Spirit. It's called Ghost. It's called Ghost, and the whole point is it's not. You're not really supposed to be able to see it. It's sort of.
So you guys can only go from Columbia to Dallas-Fort Worth area, right?
or wherever else they're delivering drugs. But so far, those are the only 2 places.
Y'all got to get out of that game, man. Oh, dang. Y'all, we're recording, y'all. Well, I think we're
what?
already recording. Yeah.
Will you tell us when you're
I will.
recording?
I'll start.
We do this every week. It's almost stupid now.
Here we go. Hello, everyone. It is April 29th, and welcome to another episode of the Teacher's Lounge, the first, best, and only podcast tackling issues relevant to the greater Hamilton High School community. I'm Howard Levis, your biology teacher, and joined as always by my 3 colleagues. Guys, go ahead and say hello.
Hey, how you doing? I'm Todd Padre, theater director and currently star of the spring play, Untitled, a one-man show.
So you still are starring in the show despite being told from the administration that you need to get the theater students involved in the production.
Yeah, I thought that petition had gone around enough. I thought they got enough signatures.
Well, it went huge on Twitter. That's right. It went viral. Apparently, a lot of the country and also the world was a little upset that all these young theater lovers were having their education usurped by a teacher who was doing the play on his own. So, as per the petition, it is still titled a one-man show, but now there are 47 trees that I interact with throughout the show.
Okay, so the students went from being audience members on stage that would applaud you, and they were responsible for bringing their own wardrobe and everything.
Correct.
And you've given them co-starring roles, but as trees.
Yeah.
Now, do you help them get dressed as trees, or are there any costumes?
No, they still have to provide their own costumes, which is a great learning experience for them. And I've made it clear to them that they have to be believable as trees. So we're working on a lot of like not breathing exercises or
Not breathing?
Not breathing exercises.
Todd, you're
I've
going
been
to kill
telling
these
Todd,
children.
you know, he is going to kill a couple of these guys. You know, every year a couple go. That's just part of the program.
Is
That's
that
right.
true?
Well, you got to break them down to build them back up, as they say.
I feel like
And
breaking
so-
them down to death is breaking them too far down to build them back up, Todd.
Well, there's 2 parts to that saying. The second one is you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
Those are 2 different sayings. I don't think those are ever said at the same
Break
time,
them down to
Todd.
build them up.
Well,
and you gotta
Jimmy and Joshy Wemberly, who passed away.
rest in pieces.
I think the
right.
saying's rest in peace.
Yeah.
Well, for most.
Those boys.
Apparently
think-
their bodies fell apart.
Even if a body is dismembered, I believe you still say rest in peace, guys.
But
Yes.
if you fall off,
But
you fall off a catwalk, I mean that's a big fall.
But we all know that the Wemberleys, the rumor is that they faked their death.
And I believe it, which is one of the reasons I've been going to Columbia, is because I'm shooting my own documentary trying to find these kids.
It's called Finding the Wemberleys.
Finding the Wemberleys, yeah, tentatively titled.
All right.
All right, well, I'm
move
Sam
yeah.
Weatherman. I'm also here today. Of course, your ASB teacher, also your driver's ed teacher. Also, start a little limousine business. I'm trying to get people out there for prom. If you need a ride,
I saw you at the. I saw you up the top of the. I saw you at the top of the stairwell in the B building, and you just tossed a whole carton of your business cards off the top, just down like kind of in an '80s movie where they throw papers, but it was business cards.
Yep, that's right. That's right. I filled up a milk carton with my business cards because I didn't have, an envelope.
So you stuffed business cards into a thing that has a small opening at the top?
Yeah, well, it's just big enough for a business card. So, I figured, hey, this is a lot like a piggy bank. I'll go for it. And so then I threw the milk carton off the top. And some of them came out.
I saw that happen, top to bottom. I was watching that and I was like, am I watching an 80s movie here or is this real life? Because I recognize this from the genre of 80s movies I've seen a lot of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where people throw, in every 80s movie, somebody throws papers from a roof.
That's true. Absolutely.
Or a stairwell. They do. There's a couple movies where it happens like that, right?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Mr. Levi.
Well, and those business cards now, I've tried to make business cards before, and I've learned two things from them. Simplicity is better. You don't want to put everything about you on them. And you got to find a cheap one. Did you find that also?
Well, I didn't know about the simplicity thing, so I have multiple colors. So each business card cost me $1.25, right? Which I figure, I don't have to send that many of these things out.
That seems high.
Yeah. So I got 2,000 of them printed, and
so you're looking at about $2,700.
yeah, about $2,700.
Wow.
Yeah, about $2,700. It's it's cost me a lot, but luckily,
and you threw them all away.
Well, I threw them down the stairwell.
Right.
Yeah, and
And they went directly into the janitor's mop bucket, as far as I remember.
As far as you remember, yeah. I mean, I don't.
Because he was mopping and they were getting stuck to the floor of the school, all around the school.
Yeah, the janitor and I got a real beef right now. He's following me around cleaning up my messes, and he is not happy about it. I cannot stop creating messes at the school.
So you are, these business cards were for possibly rides, a limo ride to prom.
That's
right. And you famously...
Weatherman limos, rain or shine.
Right, and you famously cannot drive. That's correct?
Well, I don't know if it's famously. I mean, I
would say it's semi-famous. I mean, there's usually a story about you on WTOC News 3
about how I had just driven somewhere and shouldn't have. Yeah, so I think I can drive. Anyway, I'm trying to get my business off the ground here. I have these limos, and they've told me yes, it is illegal to run the business, but I'm hoping that
I'd rather be in a limo driven by you than a 17-year-old driving drunk after having a fun prom night.
Exactly. What I
don't
is
know.
for
I
the
might
safety
take
of the
my
kids.
chances with the drunk 17-year-old.
Why? Because he cares about his life? What?
No,
I think.
No, I mean, of course I care about my life. It's just hard when you get behind the wheel to discern, what's good, what's bad here.
Right.
Because if you are having, you should see a counselor if you're feeling bad about your life. I have been, and it's been very helpful.
I would not call that mannequin from H&M a counselor.
Okay, well, I would.
You've dressed it up to look like a counselor.
And you've rented an office.
If you bring him home from the H&M, he's no longer an H&M mannequin.
And we're not.
Now
He's a rogue mannequin.
Yeah, and also when we say bringing him home, but I noticed you rented out an office space in the 4th Street, that high rise that we got on 4th Street.
It's a commercial space, with a window,
and it says Howard Milton's psychiatry.
And you're in there wailing and crying, and you're laying down on the couch.
Floor to ceiling windows. I mean, it's almost a spectacle.
I mean, people gather.
Wailing.
People gather.
Yeah, it's one of the new big hot attractions downtown.
People are selling T-shirts outside of it.
Well, that's unfortunate.
You haven't noticed.
I have not noticed. I tell you, all I wanted.
What about
fake
the crowds?
therapy in a storefront.
All I wanted was to be seeing the best head shrink in town. The best shrink, obviously, is going to have the nicest office space.
Right.
So I went to the one with the nicest office space.
Yeah.
It wasn't nice enough for me, so I created one. And frankly, I'm getting a lot out. Which, and if I'm becoming some sort of local sensation.
I saw you pull up in a brand new Corvette this morning, and I think you're reaping some of those benefits of that. The spectacle.
Oh, if you say you suggesting that I'm charging some sort of rent for people to watch me wailing in a floor-to-ceiling window therapy to a mannequin that I've dressed up to look like Alan Dershowitz?
Hey, the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall there, Todd. I don't know.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, I'm offended at the implication.
Well, hey, I always say, if you can find a way to make a little money, all right.
Yeah.
You got to do it.
Thank you.
What, are you going to just leave that money on the table? You kidding me? You got a bunch of screaming fans of your screaming? You got to monopolize.
Yeah, you know a thing or two about people screaming.
Yeah. Hi, my name's Bill Cravy. I'm the basketball coach here and also the Spanish teacher. Are you talking about all the people that were screaming in my Spanish class? Is that the story?
Yeah, I could hear it. I could hear it all the way from C Hall.
Well, it's certainly not the fans of the games because the last one was almost dead silent.
Well,
and it emptied out after the first 3 minutes of the first quarter.
Well,
the whole stands left.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about our basketball team anymore, Bill. I don't know what's going on. Well, I do know what's going on. We're losing every game.
Well, we are losing cartoonishly bad. This past game was especially rough. I mean, you guys were there. You saw me. I lost my cool way before the tip-off.
Again.
That's right. We didn't even get to tip this time.
Well, as soon as you backed up your catering van, I knew you were in a bad mood. I knew it. I mean,
well, for those of you that don't know, I typically, in order to help give my team an advantage, I will attempt to poison the other team or hurt them via usually lasagnas, poisoned lasagnas, spoiled lasagnas, and this game was no different whatsoever. I backed an Italian catering truck up to the porch.
The porch on the gym. I do think installing that porch was a good idea. It's really
Isn't it nice? It's like a Cracker Barrel front
it's
porch.
Fostered a sense of community at our sporting events, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I had some sweet tea during the women's varsity the other day.
Yeah, I saw you. You were enjoying that porch. It's nice, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
go ahead.
Yeah, no, I tried to serve the other team bad lasagna right as they got there. Now
you've got a reputation for it.
Yeah, they knew. They know because they had heard that I was doing this, and they didn't take it. So I just let loose a couple of coyotes in their dressing room, and or their locker room. Sorry, and
just to be clear, is this coyotes the animal or coyotes who smuggle illegal immigrants across the border?
Because I know that you do have a stable.
It was one of both.
So
there was a wild little dog. I mean, I call it a coyote. It's just a rabid dachshund.
Yeah.
Which, in my opinion, far more dangerous. You put rabid in front of an animal's name, and it's more dangerous than
Now, the little man, he's rabid too, isn't that right? The other little coyote is a small man, and he's got rabies?
Yeah,
or if he doesn't, why was he foaming at the mouth? Yeah,
I mean, everybody's saying rabies because he barks a lot and he's foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, everybody's pretty sure your friend has rabies.
Yeah. And anyway, it got pretty out of hand in the dressing room, the locker room, and they never made it out of there, and they called the game. But we had already scored a couple of points on our own, the opposite goal, so we did lose.
Now, that's Bad news. I'll say that. And I'll say that if we sound a little down, it's because we're coming from a meeting with the superintendent where she implied that we are almost past the line of being fired, all of us, from our jobs.
They're looking for replacements for all of us right now.
Luckily, we're kind of benefiting from the forced 3 strikes rule. You can't fire anybody here until they've been reported for doing something wrong 3 times.
We were all punished 2 days ago, just like the students are, because as you know, at this school, the teachers get punished just as the students do.
Does that principal know how to punish or what?
That's good punishment.
I got 3 paddlings.
Yeah.
They of course pulled my slacks to the floor just to check if I was wearing multiple pairs of underwear, and I was.
Sure.
And they made me take off 6 pairs of boxers and 4 pairs of briefs and 2
they did the same
thongs.
to me. They did the same exact thing to me, except I didn't get the paddle. They held my head under the water for 35 seconds.
They waterboarded you.
No, they held my head under the water. I would not let them waterboard me. I have a line. So I'd let them just, partially drown me, just stick my head on the side of the pool.
Whoa.
Well, okay, guy knows how to punish.
I think that right now we're close to crossing the lines of the Geneva Conventions here with the ways they punish us. And I've submitted a formal complaint in the suggestion box, which unfortunately I don't think is getting
the school suggestion box or the UN suggestion box?
The UN suggestion box. And I don't even think that they are looking at it. And so I've been... can
I say something about Kofi Annan right now?
Sure, yes.
Head of the UN, Kofi Annan, you are not doing your part here at Hamilton Middle School. And I mean, we have a tyrant running this place, and the punishments are truly debaucherous.
Well, and what keeps happening is we keep screaming at Kofi Annan about this, and he says, don't talk to me, talk to someone named Ban Ki-moon about it. He said, I don't run the UN anymore.
Yeah.
And we keep saying, yeah, that's the oldest trick in the book.
Yeah, right. They don't just give that job up.
Yeah. That's like the Supreme Court. You do it for life.
Well, guys, I think this is a perfect time to sort of break a little bit of news to y'all, and I just want to let y'all know that I'll put it this way. If our jobs are on the line, I've got it taken care of. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Okay, so you did just wink, and you just pushed me twice in the shoulder when you said that. What do you mean?
Let's just say I may have changed my tune. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Stop pushing me.
Ouch.
Do you get what I'm saying? Do you guys catch my drift?
I still don't.
You need to use your words to explain it clearer.
Okay.
Not
Don't
just
do any
push us harder.
Yeah, don't do any let's just says.
No,
just say exactly what you're talking about.
All right. Well, if you catch my drift.
No.
Oh.
We don't.
If you're riding my wave.
We're not.
Here, how about this? I'll just say it in as plain of terms as possible. I talked to my parents this weekend.
Whoa.
Yes, I did. And I decided...
You haven't spoken to them in
I haven't spoken to them
years?
in a very long time. Tried to separate myself from the Levi's family. But I talked to my parents this weekend, and I asked for $33 million.
Wow, from 0 to $33 million, just like that.
Can I ask you, how quickly from going to not speaking to your parents for 15 years did you ask them for $33 million? Did you ease into the conversation?
I left a voicemail.
Okay. And what can you tell us what the voicemail said? Just a couple of the first sentences?
Said $33 million, 1721 Marksville Court.
You gave him a ransom?
You said a ransom voicemail.
Yeah, I said $33 million, and I gave them my the address to my tiny house. And quickly, in overnight fashion, a check arrived at my door. It has been deposited, and gentlemen, let's just say that the Teachers Lounge can keep going if it wants to.
So you're
even
saying
if they fire us.
Oh, you're saying you got so much money that you could just throw around your weight.
I mean, you guys saw the
donations.
billboards I put up all over town this weekend.
That was
a quick turnaround.
really shocking. Your mayoral campaign really bumped up a lot.
Yeah, I spent all of Sunday evening calling every business that has available advertising space.
All of what time?
Huh?
All of when?
Wednesday or Sunday evening.
Okay.
Great time to do that.
So you were met with a lot of weird clothes.
Yes, and voicemails. And in those voicemails, I left the information and I went to those businesses and I plastered my materials on the sides of their
the McDonald's in town does not look like a McDonald's at all anymore.
No.
It's very much you all over it, from the dollar meal to the...
I had a Levi's Presents Big Mac the other day.
Yeah.
It seems like the recipe is the same, but the bag you get it in is now all denim.
Right. Yeah.
And if you take the top of the burger off, they have toppings dispensers now that are in the shape of my face with my website and address.
Well, you can't see that because as soon as you put the ketchup on the burger and then you smash it down, the likeness of your face is immediately ruined.
They haven't been serving them the way that I asked them to? Open face?
Open.
No, the McDonald's has not been serving their sandwiches open face.
Are you kidding me?
They're not on a plate either.
Are you joking?
I just want to let you know they are not on a plate.
I left a voicemail for McDonald's Corporation that said, I need...
What number did you...
It was at 8:30 on Sunday evening. And I said, you boys, this is how it's happening from now on. From now on, Levi's Presents Big Mac. It is all the same components, served open face. 2
all-beef patties.
2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun that's spread across a porcelain plate. Nothing cheaper.
But when I got mine, there was a slice of denim on it.
That's right. And the cheese will be replaced by denim. Okay,
that's inedible, and you know that.
Have you ever tried it?
No.
That's a good question. Have you ever tried it? Because that
I've never eaten jeans, but I assume it's not edible.
I'll tell you what, that jeans went down rough and cleaned me out. It's like eating broccoli, baby.
I saw you pull a full pair of jeans out of your asshole in the bathroom.
You saw?
I saw that too.
Well, you're doing it in the lobby of the bathroom, the little sitting room.
It's like I had stepped into 1983 and was watching a movie. I mean,
Absolutely. I mean, I felt a little cliche as I was doing it. Pulling those jeans out of my asshole. I'm like, is someone about to call me Wang Chung or what? You know what I mean? I mean, this is the 80s all over again.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Howard. And I mean, like they say in politics, you don't have to be hot the whole time. You just got to get hot at the right time.
Yeah, and we're just a few weeks away. We're just a few weeks away from the election. And I'll tell you this. If people don't know who I was before Sunday evening around 8:30, 9 o'clock.
They've eaten a burger from you.
They certainly do know now.
And they've, and you're running against the incumbent. Is that correct?
That's true.
And he has gone down as the best mayor we've ever had.
Says who?
Well, says most of the people that put on that festival for him last year.
Oh.
Best mayor?
Best mayor festival.
Best mayor festival?
Yeah.
And also, I can't believe they got John Mayer.
They got John Mayer.
Well, John Mayer, he conceded.
He said...
He conceded that he is not the best mayor to our mayor.
That's crazy. I mean, the town really came out for that. That was 100% attendance rate.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when John Mayer got on his knees. And
how many people were in your last speaking event?
Yeah. My last speaking event?
Yeah.
The one Friday afternoon at 6:30?
Yes, the one during rush hour.
That you did on the street.
Yeah. Well,
you were reenacting Rush Hour on the street. You were playing Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker parts.
Yeah, everybody knows that's everybody in this town's favorite movie, and I thought it would bring people out, but I tell you what, nobody stopped. A lot of pass-bys.
You got to get next time. I mean, I love your speeches, but I would say next time when you are going to give a speech, you need to go somewhere where people stand or sit and you can get their attention.
Well, maybe I'll rent out the Crest White Strips Auditorium the day before or after your play, and I'll.
And you know what? I think you should go ahead and make it a speech too, not just reciting an old movie.
I don't know.
Well, now the other day you went around and tried to do that typical thing that politicians do: get some pictures of babies, kiss babies.
Yeah, I kissed a lot of babies,
and that was you snuck into the maternity ward. Is that true?
I borrowed a set of scrubs.
Borrowed them
from the closet at the hospital.
Mm-hmm. They were too small for you.
Yeah,
that's right. You borrowed a set of women's small scrubs.
Yeah, and I jumped into the old maternity ward, and as the babies were coming in, before they'd even even seen their mothers, I gave them a little kiss and set them down in their little cribs and watched over them for the night, hoping to.
Now, do you understand how it's not even possible but likely that a new mother would be horrified to see a man that looks like you, balding, long mustache, wearing a set of women's small scrubs?
You think this is a long mustache?
Bust into an active delivery room, push the husband who's waiting to get to hold his baby for the first time away, grab the baby, and take a selfie with it before they've even cleaned the baby's nose out.
Yeah. I mean, some of those babies' noses were filthy.
That's disgusting. Can I say I didn't know that? No. I did not know that.
You think I'm some kind of bad guy because I want to get at them while they're young?
It's interesting because your ratings did go up.
Exactly. I made a big splash. It's all about splash.
The media is definitely talking about you. You're all over the place.
So anyway, from here on out, the
least likely mayor ever. Least likely mayor is what they're calling it.
I don't know, guys. I think you guys are not giving me a fair shake here. And just know that if y'all need anything, and I mean this, if y'all need anything from here on out, I'm your man.
Thank you. We've always been such big supporters of you.
Thank you for those gift baskets that you brought in earlier. I've pretty much eaten most of the. Are you eating a pair of jeans?
What is this, the 80s? No way, man. No way.
But yeah, all right, guys. Well, anyway, guys, as usual, we've got a guest on the podcast today. Some of y'all who are listening may be familiar with him, but he may have been around the school before your time. He is an ex-principal here at the school.
Yeah, there is a nice oil painting of him in the foyer, and it's not his best photo.
No, and some say his legacy may have been tarnished, but we all really still respect him, so we wanted to bring him on the podcast to just check in and see how he's doing these days. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome your ex-principal, Raymond, or as we call him, Ray Coufus.
Yeah.
Ray, how you doing?
Good to see you, Ray.
How's everybody doing?
Oh, we're doing good.
Pretty good, Ray. Good to see you.
No, it's good to see y'all.
You're looking good, man.
Oh, well, just working out, just staying healthy.
Yeah.
Staying healthy.
You are very, very ripped now.
Yeah. I mean,
you used to be a small man.
Oh, I was very tiny. But what I've been doing lately has been giving me a lot of confidence, and keeping me going and making sure that that my body is as strong as my mind.
You are glistening right now. I mean, you're mid-sweat.
Well, it's a mixture of sweat and baby oil. Every time I get out of the car, I lather on another layer of baby oil. Yeah, because it seems
like the water is beating up.
Yes, that's the baby oil.
And you just dump the baby oil over clothes and all? You kind of just...
your clothes are oily, too.
Oily, sopping wet.
You're in a gi, and it's soaked with oil.
Mm-hmm. You should see my truck. I have many gis. Once, the baby oil is too soaked into the gi, I just change gis.
So, you got to explain the gi to us.
You keep the old gis in your truck?
Yeah, I use them.
Do you ever wash them?
Sometimes. Other times, I just use the old gis to wipe down my truck to make sure it looks as shiny.
Your truck is also beautiful.
Yeah, you have a gorgeous Avalanche.
And now I know you used to be really into karate back when you were working here, so I understand the gi, but you just wear it all the time now?
Mainly hitting students.
It's a shame what they did to you in the media, by the way.
Yeah, right. We all agree it was unfair, your treatment.
I don't know if we all agree.
Now, we've all gotten heated.
It was a witch hunt. It was an obvious witch hunt.
Well, let's let the people decide.
Okay, all right.
You tell them. Why don't you tell them your version of the story?
Okay.
And we'll let you sort of get your side out. I feel like it's been unfairly portrayed by the media.
Yeah.
These kids.
I mean, well, it's part on me. I kept a long silence about it after the verdict came down. So when you're silent, people just think you're automatically guilty.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that's not necessarily true. Now, here are the facts. Did I get into a fist fight with kids? Yes, I did.
Yes, multiple kids.
Yes. That's on videotape.
Yes,
that's on World Star Hip Hop.
Yes, but did I fight them in some sort of predatory manner?
Yes.
No. That is not. That is no.
Oh,
I don't know.
No.
It seems the World Star video really speaks for itself.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the bushes and you go, "There's my prey."
Okay. All right. Now, That's what happens when you start a video like in mid.
Editing.
Like,
You're saying it was edited.
Yes.
I've been
so
a
there
victim
was
of editing all the
something that
time.
there was another sentence that came before.
Okay.
There's my prey.
Okay.
That justifies it.
No, there wasn't. When I was in the bushes. I did say, "There's my prey." That's exactly where that does start. But y'all don't know why I had to say that in the first place.
Because it was. So you're saying it was justified.
We don't know why the kid is prey.
Yeah, exactly. Now, see, here's the thing. Now, a lot of you know that I did a lot for this school for a long time.
You were an unbelievable principal.
You're the reason we have the 2 computer labs we have, and I still appreciate it.
We went from 0 computer labs, no electronics allowed into the school.
Not allowed. Not even allowed. You were the one who changed the rules in the book.
I had to fight for that.
It was all encyclopedia dictionary stuff.
I used to have to walk around each classroom and tell them what was going on. That was the announcements, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I said, we got to get this. We got to get this in. And it was a 2-year fight.
Yeah.
I can't believe the superintendent accepted your physical challenge. That was truly incredible.
Well, that was their mistake.
Let's go back to you
and the students.
You and the student who was your prey.
Okay. Well, students, and it was a group of them.
Right.
So, as we all know, it's just those damn kids, man. Like,
I'm with you.
They're
Yeah, that's a good excuse.
No,
they can really let adults have it, and they don't know how mean they are.
Okay, so 3 years ago, before I was fired, what happened was we were setting up for our new prom. Everything was going well. There was a whole new theme going on. It was everyone wanted to do the Under the Sea theme, and I think it's from
classic theme.
Yeah, one of those.
But in fact, it's still on the table for this year. Everybody get your votes in.
What happened was, I'm setting up this thing. I'm trying to get it ready, and one of these kids started.
You're setting up this thing. Do you mean the tripod in the bushes?
Okay,
with the camera on it.
Bill, you still are funny. I remember you still. Are you one of the games this year?
I wasn't making a joke there. I was talking about the tripod you set up in the bush to film you.
You are funny. You winning the games this year, Bill?
Oh,
he's got you, Bill. Looks like he's got just a point.
This is why I love Ray, is he can razz us, and there's nothing we can do because he would kick the crap out of me. If I said my true feelings, he'd really beat me to a pulp.
That's right.
It's been 3 years, Bill. Let me see. Have you won as many games in the 3 years that you've been coach as you did when I was the principal here? The number is 0.
No.
Okay.
I won the 5 years you were principal here. I won 1 game, and it was due to a technicality. And I've won 0 since you've been gone.
Okay. Well, you did win 1.
That is true. Okay, so
it was a forfeit.
It was a forfeit.
Okay.
So you beat these kids up pretty bad. And
pretty bad.
If I remember correctly, because we all get pushed to the brink, and you were one of the most polite guys in the world until this day, right? You had been kind of bottling up some of the stuff kids were saying to you. They were calling you fat eyebrows. They were calling you fat body. They really went with weight stuff on you, and you finally just cracked. As though it looked like to me, I wish I could have repped you in court.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to. I was okay with that, right? I used to be a small man. That's why it really got to me, but they kept calling me fat. It was a mental thing that was really one of those things where it was like, it's like that reverse psychology, And I was like, don't call me that. Don't call me that
anymore. I'm not that anymore.
Don't call me that. Don't call me that. What really got me was that kid, Spike Fierstein.
Yeah.
Big guy.
He's still in school here. He's failed a lot.
Spike Fierce.
He's 34. He's in 11th grade.
Still on varsity, though. He's the best player we got.
I mean, it was just 3 years ago. So at the time, he was a 30 to 31-year-old human being, and they still had him sit on the stand, point to me, and say that was the man that assaulted me, as if he was a kid.
My arm! Ow! Take it easy.
Okay, all right. I poked you to add emphasis on what I was saying.
And that's the thing is, just like sometimes you can try a 16-year-old as an adult based on their crime, you can also, a 31-year-old can be a child. And so they tried you, and they said that you beat up a child high schooler, even though he was 31 years old.
Right. Yes, this is true. But also, to be truthful to the law, I did beat up a couple 17, 16, and 18-year-olds.
Good.
But they were all in Spike's crew.
You know what? Let's stop talking about all this negativity in the past, okay?
Yeah.
We all love you, okay, Principal?
You had one bad
you gave a very good public apology. You humbled yourself in the media, and it really grounded you and brought you back.
Yeah. I admit that that I went a little overboard, and I apologized. And
you got very religious when you were in prison.
But you've turned a negative into a positive, right?
I did. Because the thing was, when I was beating up those kids, that I realized is, man, they have no technique. They don't know how to defend themselves against someone of my caliber.
That's a good learning experience.
So when I got out, what I decided that I was going to teach what I have learned to people who need it. So that's why I've started my own karate school. I'm calling it Karate.
That's great.
Everyone get it?
Based on your last name.
Yeah, because I'm Ray Coufus. So, Karate.
Karate.
How do you spell that?
Courate.
What about, your name is Coufus, and, you're the karate guy, not me. What about Koufrati?
Huh. You are the karate guy, so that sounds better to me, but I don't know much about the karate world.
Yeah, because it's too seamless. Karate. You need to add an F in there to make it just like hang up a little bit more.
To make it a true portmanteau, I believe is the term.
Or even, what about Coufus Karate?
Yeah, or maybe like, I'm Ray Coufus. This is my karate studio.
Okay, while we're at it, why not Ray Roddy?
You're the karate guy here.
Okay,
so if that's wrong.
Just so you know, I hear what you're saying, and all these ideas are, they sound like they could be good. But, I was in prison with a lot of guys who had ideas, and so we...
Oh, so you've heard all these ideas before, and you've decided that those weren't good enough.
Well, not Koufrati. Koufrati was actually one that I hadn't heard.
Yeah, no prisoners going to go.
Yeah, and hearing it, I go... That doesn't sound too bad, but we've already made the shirts and the signs, so no going back.
Yeah. So I sat in on one of your classes, and all of these scenarios that you teach in order to protect yourself are from an advancing principle. If a principle advances you, say out of a bush, and this is quote from your curriculum. What would you do? And then you do an impression of Spike Firestein, and that's kind of like your the way you teach. Is that correct?
Yes. As you all know, when I was the principal here, I like to teach from a place of knowing. I always made my teachers, everyone, always try to come to the students with a place of something that they knew. So if a student were to challenge them, they would be able to kind of give their message in a way that speaks to them.
That was one of the big positive changes when you came. I remember some of the teachers didn't have to know anything about the subjects that they taught, and it was very confusing. Yeah, they had the book, but they had no idea. Some of them even had to read them. I just think it's better that teachers be adults who have gone to school.
Yes.
Well, they didn't have to. They had no way. If I had to go to every class and reprimand a teacher or listen to a teacher when we had no technology, they didn't have to. Everyone was just sitting back in their classroom with their hands behind their heads, like an 80s movie.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Now, would you? What if I? Maybe we could do just a little, you may be promoting your class here. People are going to listen to this teachers lounge and maybe sign up for your classes. Maybe we could do just a little spar or something.
Okay. All right. So if this is my class,
okay,
I always take my adult students and my child students, and I pair them up together.
So you want the oldest person in here, and Todd, you're 72, is that right?
I'm 72 years young, that's correct. But I don't feel a day over 30.
Right. You look many days over 100.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, that's...
a very strange compliment.
It's a strange compliment, but I do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
It's nice that you appreciate it. I'm not sure it was a compliment.
Well,
it was just a descriptor. Is all it was.
A lot of people ask me, how do you be 72 years old, be as active as you are, but really look like saggy leather. And I tell them, first of all, thank you.
Come see my play.
And then I say, come see my play because the theater keeps me young. And now that I'm seeing a head shrink, I feel younger than ever, and I feel great. Now, I do have a question for you, Ray. Do the students know they're going to be fighting adults when they sign up for your class?
Well, on the sign and also in the flyer and also on the brochure, it does say it is a class of it's a joint karate class for kids and adults, because how I feel is, anyone can fight against a kid, or anyone can fight against. If I'm a kid, I can fight against another kid. If I'm an adult, I might have a match against another adult. But how as a kid can I beat up an adult?
That's great.
And how as like a little weenie adult, because that's what a lot of people I get in my class, how do I get the confidence to be able to want to fight? You fight someone smaller than you, someone that you feel like I could take easily. And if you can beat up a kid, like that lets you know, like, oh, it makes you feel like a real strong man.
Like a man, right? When I yell at a kid in class, oh no, that makes me feel better.
You rob your students occasionally, right?
Yes.
Occasionally, meaning a lot.
Yes, but it's like a tactical exercise.
Yeah, it's a practical application exercise.
Yeah.
It's like,
now,
this is
do
happening,
I keep the things that I take from them? Yes.
Okay.
If they're not able to keep their own stuff, then they lose it.
And if they try to forcefully take it back and they succeed, good for them.
Exactly.
And you know what? I know it's hard to beat up a man who's 325 pounds of pure muscle like yourself, but the kids have to learn that could be the type of man coming at you.
Yeah, I mean, I took one of your classes the other day. I don't know if you know that was me. I was in disguise for the Better Business Bureau. Did you know that was me?
Yeah.
That older woman?
Yes. Because you still had on your coach's track uniform.
What did the Better Business Bureau, what did they call you and said, go in here?
I am working off a debt to the Better Business Bureau. Doing disguised, it's sort of that show,
Undercover Boss,
but it's undercover employee. I mean, undercover patron.
That's right.
Anyway, I took your class and I was immediately beat up by an 8-year-old girl who you paired me against, and then you stole everything in my wallet. So I did report you to the Better Business Bureau.
Why
so
did the girl want to beat you up? Why did the girl
class, right?
That's we got paired together, and she was surprisingly good, or I was just bad.
Yeah. Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
When you first came in, honestly, I was like, that seems like Bill, and I was like, no, it's just an ugly woman.
And I said, hi, I'm Bill. Excuse me, sorry, I mean Diane.
And I still wasn't
Cravy. And then I said, nope, not Diane Cravy, Diane Bethany. And I was like, nope, I don't have two first names. My name is Diane Sawyer. And I said, nope, not her, not the lady who does the news. I'm Bill. Nope, I'm not. I'm Bethany. My name is Bethany Hart. So I was Bethany Hart for the class.
Yep.
And then you looked down and said, whoops, I forgot my old lady's outfit. I'll be right back.
And then I came in and I said, hi, my name's Bill. Nope. It's Bethany. And it started all over again. And I did finally get into the class. But
now, what were you thinking when that whole thing happened?
Well, let's hear the other side of that story.
Well, honestly, like I said, I thought, but after all the corrections, I was like, well, no, it's not. I just wasn't sure.
Right.
They did have the tracksuit on, but then when she came back in with the dress over the tracksuit, I was like, no, I guess that's this Diane person. But it wasn't until after I beat her up and took all her stuff that I opened the wallet and realized that it was Bill the whole time. Like, because it had his...
so you knew when you saw my ID?
Yeah, after the fact. After the beatings and paying you up with the little girl and stuff.
Yeah.
What about a name for the business called Kung Koof?
That's good.
And again, you're the karate guy, so if this doesn't work, you tell us.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, look, the name is, I've said it on
Kudo.
There's a lot of people that have invested in this from jail that really helped me start this thing. And if I just go and change the name willy-nilly, I'm going to be getting a lot of collect calls.
I have just a quick question. Sometimes you've all seen Karate Kid, famous movie from the 80s.
Yeah.
Well,
Not so sure.
I've seen Karate Kid with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith, but that's a movie from the 2000s.
Well,
What are you
anyway,
talking about?
There's an original?
Those are all on my Netflix. You haven't seen them yet. I have seen The Last Dragon from the 80s. So,
here's my question. I left you a voicemail the other night. I don't know if you got it.
What time?
It was about 11:30 on Sunday. I left you a voicemail wondering if, sometimes you can get sort of sponsored ads on the back of children's gis for like the karate championships or whatever like that. I sent you a box of patches. They probably should be in your office at some point, hopefully now. And I was wondering, I'll just ask you now in person, is there any way that Howard Levi's for mayor could sponsor your kids and adults in their future karate championships?
How much money? Yeah.
Howard, well, I'm a fair man. And you've always been kind to me.
You are very pale.
Yes, I am I'm a fair man, and you've always been very kind to me. So I'd be willing to do that.
Wow.
If you beat me in a fight.
Okay.
Wow, Howie.
I put some money down on that fight.
Okay.
Where are we going to do this?
We could use the school boxing ring.
That Ray put in.
Yeah.
Oh, do people still use that?
It's kind of dusty now. They considered it a crime scene, and nobody's gone back in that room.
That's right.
They had to. I was fighting a kid outside in the parking lot,
and you dragged him inside into the boxing ring.
And
A
that
lot of
way,
people called that premeditated murder.
well, I beat him within an inch of his life, but he lived.
Well, I think
apparently because he's still going around, still in school.
I think he faked his death.
Yeah, that's right. There is a theory that Spike Firestein faked his death and now re-entered the school as someone with the same exact name, age, and body type, which is confusing to me.
And didn't ask to be moved out of his grade. He still was repeating 11th grade.
So will you take someone on in a battle like that, adult on adult, or are you specifically just fighting children now?
Me? No. I fight anyone.
You'll fight anybody.
But right now...
Oh, really?
Wow,
Todd.
that was quick. That was very fast. Todd, you're in a ball on the ground.
You're tied up.
I'm tied up in a ball.
Now, hold on. I'm going to pull your arm here.
Yeah, wrong arm.
Oh, wrong. Let me get this
arm.
Excuse me. I farted when I was untangling Todd.
I tried to get to jump on you there, and you really got me. Ray.
Yeah. Well,
I'm going to come at you right now, Ray. All right, Ray. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you tied up Todd again. He pushed me to the ground, and he tied up Todd again.
All right.
Hold on, Todd. I'm gonna untie you. Sorry. All right, get back up.
All right, now what just happened is I tied up Todd twice in a human pretzel.
Here I come.
No more!
You gave Sam a sandwich and you tied Todd up again. Todd, come here. Don't tie him up again. Here, I'm going to pull your arm. All right.
Sorry about that. This sandwich is good.
That was Sam who pooted that time.
Oh, ouch.
So I call that move the Kutzel.
Okay. The Kutzel. Like a pretzel.
It's like
Why
a
not
pretzel.
call it the Coufus pretzel?
And you're the pretzel guy on this one, so...
Like a lot of times, the techniques, what you're teaching is you're teaching people to fight, but you're also teaching how can you have the mental jump on people. So what you do sometimes in a fight is you'll see the biggest guy and he will try to attack you. What you want to do is push him to the side, move him to the side, and grab one of the weakest members of his crew.
Right.
And make an example.
A man who looks 110 and tie him up.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Tie him up like a pretzel. That way, everyone is looking and being like, "Whoa, do I want to deal with that?" You know,
Right.
And believe you me, guys, you don't.
value, yeah.
You know, I almost wish my bones had broken. You somehow do it in a way where my bones don't break, and it's even worse on the joints.
well, that's only because you're a friend.
Thank you.
That was a kid from my class who tried to steal the jump on me. Broken bones.
Broken bones. I have seen a lot of kids around town in full body casts. Let me ask you this. You all are aware of the zoo incident that happened to me recently. And I want to get your advice on what you would have done. So I fell into the koala cage and kind of got into it with one of the koalas.
You were dragged around by a koala, a small koala.
That's right.
Well, they don't grow that big.
And one of the zookeepers, in an attempt to stop it, tried to shoot me. And ended up accidentally killing the koala.
Right. And you're a very famous meme now, right?
Yeah, I'm
And so is the zookeeper. The zookeeper was at the top of the enclosure screaming, "Harambe too!"
That's right. We
It was
ended up
famously not Harambe again. People were chanting.
We ended up trending on Reddit. I upvoted a bunch. But my question to you is, when a koala has the jump on you, what would you do in that situation? Because I really got dragged back and forth.
Let's say I'm a koala. I'm coming at you right now. And here we go.
Oh!
Jesus.
1 second. Let me take some of this lettuce from this sandwich I gave you, and then you stick the lettuce in the
This
mouth.
is good.
Stick the lettuce in the mouth because it's a koala, so you want to make sure that
Right.
I feel very
Eucalyptus.
docile now.
So you made me a sandwich very quickly, tied Todd up, and fed him lettuce.
Just leave me this time.
No, I'm going to leave you in the pretzel, but I am going to get you back up in your chair and push you towards the mic. Woo, it stinks in here.
So you would have tied the koala up in a pretzel and fed it some lettuce.
No, I would have pushed that koala aside and went and tried to find a smaller, weaker koala to throw in a pretzel, and then picked him up and shown the other koala, like, "This is your friend. This is what I would do to you."
Okay.
Wow, that's really nice.
If I'm in that situation again, that is what will happen. Thank you so much.
I mean, it's nice of that zookeeper to see that, trying to put you out of your misery because that koala was beating you to death.
Yeah.
I honestly wish the bullet had gone 3 inches to the left, because it would have put me out of a little bit of my misery, and by a little bit I mean all of my misery. I'm sorry, this is something that I should save for my head shrink, not for you guys.
And there's a big session today apparently at the Head Shrink that you're going into this afternoon.
Oh, did you hear about that?
Well, yeah. There was a man on the news anonymously promoting it that seemed a lot like you.
No, I saw that guy on the news.
How did
and
he introduce himself?
He said, I'm Todd Padre. Nope.
And this was all live.
I am Todd Phillips. No, director. I'm Philip Seymour Hoffman. No.
Dead.
And this is all being said?
And this is all stuff that this guy was saying on the news.
Yeah.
They said, hold on, am I even shrouded in black yet? Put the black shroud around me.
Because it was, you were.
Well, at this point, the gentleman was in full light.
He looked a lot like you. Why do you keep calling him the gentleman?
Well, it wasn't me. It was some guy who was confused, it sounded like. Anyway, so that guy went on and said that to come check out my therapy session today?
Yeah, with a mannequin.
With a mannequin. Interesting.
Dressed as Dershowitz, right?
Yeah. Now, Ray, can I ask you this?
Yeah.
For me, if I get the opportunity to live my dream, do theater off Broadway, and get away from this school.
Broadway's your dream?
That's correct. Yeah, well, I want to keep my dream achievable.
Manageable,
Okay.
yeah. I
And
get
off
that.
Broadway is really where the art happens.
Okay.
You don't want to be performing for a bunch of blue hairs over on 42nd Street. So if I achieve that dream, I would not be around kids ever again. I don't do well amongst students. I shouldn't be.
I
high school teacher.
None of us do that well around students.
But you've chosen to help kids. Is there something in your life that made you want to do that instead of go off and just teach karate, in China or Japan or
why didn't you
Thailand?
go to any of the big programs?
I mean, there is something to going to the places where, your style originates from. That's where the real talent is. It's like that's the real challenge of being like, hey, I know what you do. I know what's in your blood. Now, come and fight me, right? But for me, it was like, growing up, having a dad that got beat up by my mom a lot. Like you get to see like.
In public, in the ring.
Yes. My mother would never fight my dad at home. They would have an argument. And
it was quite an event in the early 70s in this town. Pay-per-view.
That's right. People would pay to go see it.
Like, I mean, the rumor is that my dad would throw the fight all the time for my mom. But I could tell you 100%.
He was trying.
Through many conversations, he told me that he was really trying to beat my mom up.
Unfortunately, in society, they don't teach kids how to beat up adults.
No.
And they don't teach men how to beat up women because for some reason. But there might be an opportunity where you have to, like if your wife sets up a boxing match with you regularly and beats you up. And I am not saying that it's okay to beat up a woman. I would never. No, just in a recreational sense, definitely not. But like in the sense of being like, oh, you're challenging me, you're coming at me, then yes, then we should fight. We can fight.
Now, do you think this has anything to do with, I don't know, your adult behavior, you beating up children, anything, that your mom would beat your dad to a pulp every night? Do you think that has any sort of effect on your rage issue or anything?
Look, I mean,
I don't think you take things from childhood into adulthood.
I mean, I meditate a lot now. I don't go see one of those wacko heady guys.
Hang on now.
That's not really me.
You don't ever talk to a mannequin?
Teach his own, but it's just not for me because I think people that do that are fucking insane. I'm sorry, can I say the F word on this podcast?
Well, Todd, you're almost so mad you're getting out of your human pretzel over there.
How dare you say that about me?
Whoa!
No!
He's back in it.
Oh.
Hey, I like that rage. I like that. That was a good, powerful rage from the abdomen.
Thank you.
Hey, here's my card. You come in here, you get one free lesson. I'll stamp that, and then after that you can pay.
Yeah, this could really help you out, Todd. Like, you do need to learn how to fight your ex-wife's new boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. Well, that little 17-year-old has taken me down both verbally and physically a few times now. But thank you for the card. I will consider it. I have actually been taking Taekwondo from a clothing rack at the TJ Maxx. So, and I think it's been going well for me.
No, I think you hurt a lot of people in there looking for discount clothing.
Don't look inside the rack during a Taekwondo class.
Yeah,
I'll consider this class. I'll consider coming in because I would like to take on. I might try to trick this kid that's dating my wife, ex-wife as she wants me to say, but wife as I've been calling her. I might try to get him to take the class, and I'll pair off against him, and then we'll go toe-to-toe with some of your lessons.
That would be good.
Well, you should.
If you could not do it at my game next week, I do have some scouts coming to watch me.
You have some coach scouts coming.
Coaching scouts coming to watch me from the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, and also just so y'all know, I'll be giving a speech at halftime next week, and I'm hoping to get the old incumbent in on the debate.
That's great.
So you're going to debate at the game next week?
That we have been given the halftime show to debate. It will be sponsored. It'll be sponsored by Levi's, and we will be debating.
Well, I hope we make it to halftime.
Yeah.
I hope there's people there.
Let's try to get to the end of the game for everyone's sake on this one. I think it'd be more fun. Now, it's interesting that Levi's is sponsoring. That would be like the Bill Clinton Foundation sponsoring a Clinton-Dole debate in 96.
Or
even a Clinton-Bush debate in 92.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we don't run into the issue of people.
Or even a Reagan-Perot debate in the 80s.
That's right.
Yeah.
God, Reagan screamed out of Perot. He screamed out of a ton.
I don't think there's a conflict of interest. I think a lot of people think that just the sponsorship itself doesn't have any bearing on the issues that will be addressed at all. I'll say that right now.
So, Howard, let me ask you, do you think that since you're going to already have the floor that day and you're going to be debating, do you think you're going to have enough time to fight me during halftime?
That's also booked for halftime?
It could be a good publicity for both of us.
We're going to need the rest. So if you guys go long at halftime, that's fine. My team, I run them to death.
You should stop doing suicides at halftime. I'll say that.
Well, listen, they got to stay warm, all right? And I like to keep my boys warm, and that means really not resting at halftime.
Well, I just don't think you should follow it up with suicides at a drink fountain after that. They're mixing so many sodas up and then drinking them.
And they're dehydrated.
Well, and then, your famous suicide. I mean,
my suicide attempt?
Yes.
Right after that.
You thought it would motivate the team, and it just horrified them to see a man at his wit's end try to end his own life.
You said, you are making me do this. Your lack of winning is making me do this.
I mean, you climbed up on the hoop, put your chin over the rim, and tried to hang yourself with the basketball rim itself. I mean, that is sad. I don't want to ever put a ball through.
Listen, you gotta get your team motivated, all right? And that is the one thing they'll go, no, don't kill yourself, coach. Don't. I mean, I blew my ear off at practice 3 weeks ago trying to get them to run the right zone defense.
Oh, man. Well, guys, unfortunately, we are out of time for today's episode of the Teacher's Lounge. Ray, Mr. Coufus, we are very excited to see what happens with your business, and it's good to see you.
Go check out Koufrati, everybody.
Koufrati.
Yeah. And don't worry,
it's Koufrati. It's Koufrati.
You're the karate guy.
If you listen to Big Todd, it is still Koufrati. Your investment is still safe.
And of course,
don't worry, tomorrow there will definitely not be anyone in the class that is there watching you from the Better Business Bureau.
Yes, and also just a quick shout out to Miss Holloway. She should be back at school. She's been out a couple of days because I guess last week people went to rush and give their condolences for her broken feet due to everybody storming her classroom for the prom tickets. So she took a couple days off, but it turns out both legs have been broken and she's been bedridden for a couple days. But she should be.
They
back
were
real
rushing
soon.
to apologize her, and they hurt her feet even worse.
And they hurt her even worse. And guys, as we've decided, we will always say at the end of these episodes, remember, stay flippy.
Class is out and the coffee's on. I got a couple things on my chest I got to get off. Cut me some slack and pour me a cup of that joy. Welcome to the Teacher's Lounge. Let's wrap it up and hit the road.